Welcome to the Living While Loving Your Child Through Addiction podcast. Here, we focus on self care as we tend to our own lives while also extending love and compassion to our kids. This podcast offers science backed skills to bring hope and healing to your entire family. Today, I want to talk about something that completely changed my relationship with my daughter, and it changed me as a person. This was the realization that my daughter, Helanna, was never stealing my peace. I was giving it away to her. For about the first 5 years of Helanna's struggle with mental health and substance use, I let her behavior completely control my life. And it wasn't fair to either of us. I was trapped, and so was she. What I'm sharing with you today in this episode has the power to free both you and your child from that heavy dynamic. But before I get into that, I have some really exciting news. A mother that I worked with donated a scholarship, so it's 100% free, to my 12-week Peace of Mind group coaching program for mothers. This program helped this mother so much that she wanted to make sure another mom who maybe couldn't afford it got to experience it. And this is a really exciting time to join the Peace of Mind group coaching program for moms because we just started doing invitation to change in the group. We also have calls that are just focused on helping you calm your mind and your body, which is so important on this really difficult journey with all of the challenges. We can get very dysregulated emotionally. And we also have group coaching calls. So the combination from all of those different kinds of calls and the practical skills that you learn, regulating your nervous system so that you can respond to situations intentionally, getting coached through difficult situations, along with the support of a group of mothers who really understand what you're going through, is unmatched. The link to learn more about the Peace of Mind program and how you can apply for this need based scholarship are going to be in the show notes. So please apply for the scholarship before the end of the day, Monday, April 14th. Nobody will know that you applied. I will not share who won. Nobody in the group will know that you're there on scholarship. I know how important it is to keep things confidential in situations like this. So please feel free to apply. And if you don't need a scholarship, but you still want to join the group, you can use the link in the show notes to sign up for the group directly, or you can sign up for a Road to Recovery call where you get immediate support and you learn more about working with me. Back to keeping peace rather than giving it away. When I felt like Helena was in control of my peace, I was an absolute mess. My hair was falling out. I was sick all of the time. And I was stumbling through each day like a zombie. I had no quality of life or hope for my future. I felt like my peace, my happiness, and my sanity were all being ripped away by my daughter's choices. I was feeling completely powerless and a victim of her substance use and mental health struggles. But what I later came to understand, and what I now teach parents that I work with, is that peace isn't something that can be stolen. It's something that we either protect or we give away. Let me repeat that again. Peace is either something we protect or something that we give away. Now, at this point, your mind might be pushing back a little. You might be going to the worst case scenario, thinking, surely these worst case scenarios steal my peace. And I get it. But even in the hardest situations, peace is still something that we can choose. We get to choose how we respond to situations. When my daughter Helanna passed away from an overdose, there were moments that I felt completely shattered by what happened. I did not want peace in those moments. I wanted to feel angry. I wanted to feel outraged and heartbroken. And I let myself feel all of it. But I also knew that peace was still an option. It was something that I could choose when I was ready for it. I didn't feel like my peace was stolen from me. So even in those worst moments, I still had agency over how I related to my emotions. I couldn't control the outcome, but I could control how I responded to it. And when we realize that we have a choice and we start practicing the power of choosing how we feel, everything changes. We go from feeling like a victim in our own lives to somebody with power, not power over our kids, but power over ourselves. I didn't have that power for most of my life because I didn't understand how things worked. I didn't understand the think, feel, act cycle or how to manage my emotions. I had no emotional intelligence. I used to get so mad every time Helena asked me for money. I thought that the problem was her asking for money. But the problem was when she asked me for money, it felt bad to say yes and it felt bad to say no. I blamed how I felt on Helena because if she wasn't using substances, then I didn't have to say no. I could just say yes and get to feel good. But if I'm honest with myself and honest with you, I never liked saying no to her from the time she was a little girl. I always felt this bit of anger and blame when she asked me for something and I said no because I didn't have the skills to manage my thoughts and feelings about it and to recognize that was about me and not about her. So when I learned that her asking was not the problem, that the problem was the way I was thinking about it, then everything changed because now I was in control, not her. I felt empowered because I was no longer at the mercy of waiting for her to change so that I could feel okay. As I opened up my mind even more and I realized that I wanted my daughter to come to me and ask me for things. And I wanted to give her things, but only things that felt like they supported her health and wellness. It didn't have to be a problem when she asked me for money. I mean, can you believe that? It didn't have to be a problem. I didn't have to get mad about it. I didn't even have to be a blip on the radar that she had asked me for money. It could literally just be like one of those mundane things that happened that day, like when I was on autopilot driving to work and I barely remember how I even got there. But I get so excited telling you about this because I know that so many of you listening to this right now are going to hear it and just get it. And your experience will change because you will recognize that this is true. This realization was so good for me and my relationship with Helena because I no longer had to brace for impact when she called me, waiting for her to ruin my day by asking for money. It just didn't have to be a thing at all. I could say no to the money with love and offer her some groceries or pick her up and take her to get something to eat. That's another thing that I came up with that I'll throw in here is that a yes for a no. In order to make my experience easier on me, and in order to meet my need to do things for my daughter, I started using the yes for a no. It made the no so much easier. Anytime I had to say no, I also knew what my yes was. No, I'm sorry, I can't give you cash, but I can drop off some groceries or take you to get something to eat. Such a simple thing that creates so much relief. We have so much power over what we create in our lives. So the next time your son or daughter asks you for money, even though you've already said no, and they ask anyway, I want you to watch your thoughts. If your thoughts are like, this is so manipulative, they don't respect me. I already said no. Why are they asking again? I can't keep doing this. I'm exhausted. Your emotions are going to be high. Your body is going to be activated and full of all of these uncomfortable sensations that you're going to want to get away from. You might even be shaking or breathing fast and heavy or shallow. You probably feel defensive, resentful, guilty for feeling resentful, because after all, a mom should not be mad or resentful at her kid. And now your brain is off to the races with all of these thoughts making a big, painful story. But what if instead you created an intentional story? Something like, of course they're asking. That's just what kids do. They're doing the best that they can to meet a need, even if it's not in a healthy way. Now, I wish they wouldn't ask me, but they did ask. I just don't like saying no, and that's okay. I get to choose how I respond. I can support them in a way that aligns with my values. Same situation, same kid, same question, totally different experience for both of you. You might be slightly dysregulated, or you might be all in on the idea that this just isn't a problem that they asked and it's no big deal for you. Now, you didn't deny the reality of the situation, but you also didn't just give it all of your power. You thought intentionally. You chose the feeling that you wanted to lead with in this situation. And this is not about toxic positivity. I'm not telling you to pretend something is good when it's clearly not to you. This is just about emotional intelligence, the kind that helps you to regulate so that you can respond from love and not fear. When you stop letting your emotions be completely tied to your child's behavior, you become the calm in the storm. You become more consistent and predictable. You communicate more clearly. You stop over explaining, overreacting, and overcorrecting. And that is when your child feels safe to be around you. Consistent and predictable equals safe. I have seen this over and over again with families that I have worked with. The more a parent can regulate their own thoughts and feelings, the more connection they have with their child, the more quality of life that they have, the easier it is for them to work through the things that come up. Now, maybe this connection isn't immediate, it's a process. And maybe the connection isn't exactly the connection that you hope for because your child might not be available for or capable of the relationship that you want with them. But your ability to regulate will help you work through that and make the very most of what is available to you. But with consistency over time, your relationship with your child will improve. Your quality of life will improve. This shift in perspective that peace is either something we protect or give away will help you heal your own heart and reclaim control of your life. So here's what I want you to remember from today. Your child is not stealing your peace. You're handing it over, and you can take it back. You have the power to shift how you think about what's happening. And that one shift changes everything. Emotional discomfort is part of loving someone deeply, but it does not have to take over your entire life. You can say no with love. You can hold boundaries with grace. You can be the calm in the storm. Your peace doesn't depend on your child's choices. It depends on the choices you make with your mind, your heart, and your energy. You don't need to wait for your child to change in order for you to feel peace. You can feel peace right now. And that is what creates the best possible conditions for your child's change process. All right, my friends. Thank you for being here with me today. I'm sending you so much love. If you found this episode helpful, I would so appreciate a 5-star review. Your feedback helps other parents find the support that they need, and it motivates me to make more podcast episodes. Seriously, I get so excited when there's a new review. If you're tired of feeling stuck, scared, and unsure of what to do next, you can schedule a Road to Recovery call with me. We'll explore what's possible for you and your family, all while being supported with somebody who truly understands what you're going through. You do not have to navigate this alone. The Road to Recovery call link is in the show notes, and it's also on my website. Until next time, remember that taking care of yourself is not a luxury, it is a necessity. You matter too.